Preston. The Saturday Rivals! The Saturday Rivals!
What's going on, everybody? Another edition of the Saturday Rivals. Cam, Mason, Preston back for another episode. Do you guys love our intro music, or is it just me?
Yeah, solid. I'll take it. It could be worse, right?
Could be worse.
Could be.
Could
be worse, yeah. Could be worse.
I'm just waiting for Pearl Jam to endorse us and give us something, you know?
Guys, come on. I think it's... Listen, I have the full... Listen, if anybody listening, we do have the full song uploaded to YouTube if you want to hear the full thing. I have it downloaded on my phone, and I typically, listen to Spotify, but it's, the one song that's, pulled up on my player on my phone. So, that's the automatic thing that plays when I get in the car and I drive somewhere with our kids. Dude, my kids love this song. They're like, Dad, I want to listen to your song. I'm like... Okay, so we listen to it all the time. I love it. I don't care. Y'all are haters. Anybody that says otherwise. I think it's great. I don't care what you're saying.
I'm going to have to show it to my kid now that you mentioned that.
Listen.
She's a tough critic, though. Tough critic.
It took maybe a week of it maybe playing 30 seconds until I changed it to whatever I wanted to listen to. But it was just random that they were bobbing to it. They were going after it, man. They're like, I want to listen to it again. I'm like, okay, sure. I think it might kind of drive Courtney nuts a little bit whenever we drive together, but it is what it is. So this week's show special, we have our first interview on the podcast coming up. So we'll have that for you here soon. Going to be talking Arkansas football, going to be talking some NFL, some Cowboys. It was a really good conversation that we had with TonJa. I think once we're done, Mason and TonJa might get into it on Threads, so be on the lookout for that as we make a Threads account here soon. But good time, and then we just got the rest of the episode. So one thing that I brought up that I think is maybe fun, and we'd love to get you guys, the audience, involved here. We'd love to hear from you. Email us, or if you pull up our link in bio page, we do have a comment section for you guys to send us a comment or a question. So be fully involved in that. We'd love to respond or talk about any questions you have. But be involved here. What is one thing, or maybe a couple of things that you guys do every year in the preseason leading up to football? Hey, it's August. We got a couple more weeks till the season gets here. Mason, Preston, is there anything that you guys do as somewhat of a ritual or somewhat of a tradition that you guys like to do? Whether it's one thing you do, I always go, Courtney's thing, she always goes to Tuscaloosa before just to go to the shops and get something new. Is there anything for you guys that you do every single year?
Yeah, I'm kind of with her on that. I like to buy some new gear before the season starts, but my thing is going to sound weird, but I completely deprive myself of football until the season starts. I'm not joking you. Preseason stuff, absolutely not. I'll watch clips from training camps and stuff like that, but I'm not going to be watching any preseason games. So by the time week 0 rolls around, I am locked in. And for some reason, it makes me enjoy those first couple weeks even more because I've just been so deprived and I haven't gotten that little – it's I got a little itch for it once preseason comes around and you don't scratch it. And then once the season actually starts, I'm locked in.
Yeah, I always just get a sense of false hope, it feels like sometimes. I don't really have any specific pregame ritual, but yeah, it's always just going into the season thinking, oh yeah, the best is yet to come, right? Florida's going to shock the world and we're going to, make a playoff run, and who knows, maybe this is our year to win a national title. And then I'm always disappointed. It feels like over the past decade now it's been. So yeah, it's been rough.
You had it made. You had it made with Dan Mullen, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we didn't. No, we did not. Dan Mullen was good for about 3 seasons, and then he fell off. Maybe not 2.5 seasons. We'll go right up until that LSU game in 2020, and then that's when the wheels fell off. That's when it all went downhill. So
made it to the SEC championship game, Presty. Come on.
That was a gimme in that year. We're talking 2020. Like, come on now. That was rough. Georgia was without a quarterback. I mean, come on now. No. We almost beat Alabama, though. I will say that. We almost beat Alabama. So, not that we were ever going to actually do it, but.
I don't think I'm actually allowed to comment on Florida coaches anymore after my Billy Napier takes that I had.
What were your takes? What were your takes on Billy Napier? Because I thought he was going to be like a Nick Saban CEO type guy. I thought, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be it. I was like, man.
Brother, I was locked in on Billy Napier. 100% I was locked in. And then it crashed and burned. Cam gave me flack for it probably every week, it felt like at that point. And, it turned out to – it turned into what it turned into. And
it turned into exactly what I expected it to be. I tried to warn you, and you know what?
Course.
I got to have
you
my
expected
fun.
it to crash and burn.
Yeah.
You would expect anybody. You would expect anybody. If we had hired Lane Kiffin, you would be sitting here going, yeah, Lane Kiffin's going to be out of there in 3 years. It ain't going to matter. Like, what does it matter? He's not going to win a natty at Florida. Like, it doesn't matter who's the head coach at Florida. We're always going to have haters. I'm not unknown to this. I mean,
listen, you guys aren't
Billy
good
Napier
enough
was
anymore
horrible.
to have haters.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Man.
You're like down in Ole Miss territory, man. Like, come on.
No, we're not.
Tim Tebow ain't walking through that door anymore.
The
You could probably get Urban Meyer.
Let me vent really quick. When Ole Miss fans started saying their program was more desirable than Florida, I was about to lose my mind during the season when I had Ole Miss fans saying, Lane Kiffin wouldn't leave for Florida. Why would he leave for Florida? Florida hasn't done anything in years. Florida was a perennial powerhouse for like 2 decades. So, like, what's your point? Like, I don't understand Ole Miss fans trying to compare the two. Like, there's no comparison. We're better than you.
Here's a fun
shut
question.
up. There's nothing there.
Who's the most relevant Florida player since Tim Tebow?
Since Tim Tebow? Man, Kyle Trask. I'll throw one name in there.
Kyle Pitts, obviously.
Oh, yeah, Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts is probably the most relevant. Anthony Richardson was a top 5 pick, so I'll throw him in there. But, I mean, he didn't do anything
For some
while
reason,
he was at Florida.
I still don't understand. I still don't understand the Anthony Richardson stuff when it came to
He was a crazy
draft time.
athlete. He was a crazy
Like,
athlete. That's all he had. That's all he had going for him.
Can I be an NFL GM? Like, because, like, if all you need is to make stupid draft picks, like, you make, who we're talking, Anthony Richardson, first round draft pick, J.J. McCarthy, first round draft pick, Michael Penix, top 10 draft. Like, if all you got to do is be dumb enough to take these guys with your first round draft pick, dude, sign me up. I can do that all day. Like, come on.
Hey, look, I remember thinking that Bo Nix was going to be a bust, and then all of a sudden he's turned out to be great. He might be the best draft pick out of that entire class right now. So, like,
It's still early.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's got Sean
But-
Payton. Sean Payton's covering that up, dude.
Yeah. But Anthony Richardson, yeah, he was another one that I guess was relevant for a time. But I mean, look, who's going to beat Tim Tebow? Let's be honest. Tim Tebow's the greatest player in college football, like, ever. Like, there's nobody that's topping that. I will stand on that. By the way. From freshman year on to his senior season in 2009, best player. Easy. 2 national titles. I mean, come on. Like, I don't see anybody else topping that. I really don't. And we can throw in Cam Newton, Joe Burrow, Johnny Manziel, whoever one you throw in there. Tim Tebow has multiple years worth. So, yeah, I would say Tim Tebow is the best of all time.
Oh, man.
I know we weren't going to get into, like, the GOAT conversation tonight.
No.
I'm throwing it in there. In there.
Off the rails immediately. Okay, Tim Tebow. Who else would you even throw in there? Reggie Bush? He played running back.
Nah, we're not throwing Reggie Bush in there. You're going to throw Reggie Bush in there?
I mean,
when
he
they
was
have
probably one of,
But
if
they
not
have
the
one-
most electric college football player of all time.
He has one. He has a Heisman Trophy and a national title, but Tim Tebow's got that, and he's got 2 natties.
Yeah, that's
and
what
he
I'm
was a
saying.
quarterback.
This
So,
is
I
what
mean-
a conversation is, Presty. Take a deep
Yeah,
breath over
I'm
there.
ju-
I'm just
well,
trying
I'm
to throw
just
some names
telling
at you.
I'm just telling you, man. I genuinely don't think there's anybody out there.
Preston's
Really?
on edge, man. He's on
The
edge. So
best-
just be careful.
The best argument you have, the best argument I think you have would be Joe Burrow.
Archie
That
Griffin?
one season at LSU. No. No. I don't care that he won 2 Heisman trophies, dude. When did he
Okay,
play? Like
so-
the 70s? So what does it matter? Come on.
So what are we saying? Tim Tebow, just because he was a quarterback, that made him the go to college football?
It's the most important position on the field, is it not?
Okay.
So
Jason
I would
White,
argue.
obviously.
I would argue. Oh wow, man. Yeah, no. You're not
2
going to
natty
convince me
appearances?
otherwise, though. Not going to convince
Come
me
on.
otherwise.
And a Heisman.
Tim Tebow's the GOAT. You're not going to convince me otherwise. He's my guy. But
I wonder why we would never convince you otherwise, Preston. It's
Yeah.
almost as if you got the orange and blue goggles on. Listen, here's the thing, Mason. That's all Preston's got right now because they haven't been relevant, you know?
I see
you go
everything through an orange tint. You know what I mean?
All right,
I just
hold on. I'm going to just give a couple names. I'll give a couple names for you to consider.
Okay.
Mason already gave you the Archie Griffin. What about Herschel Walker?
No. No.
3-time All-American, Heisman winner, national champion. Come on, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's not better than Tebow, man. Not better than Tebow.
Not better than Tebow. Come on.
I look at modern era guys as like my measuring stick for anybody if they're going to go up against what Tebow did in the 2000s. Those are the things I'm looking at. Because that's the
Who had a
closest
greater season? Who had a greater season? Tim Tebow, Cam Newton, or Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow, but that's one season versus multiple.
One
That's what
season
my
is
argument
enough
is.
to make you a GOAT.
I'm not with you.
I still
In
think,
college? Yeah.
I still think multiple seasons. No, multiple seasons worth of proof. Like Tim Tebow has multiple years worth to show that. Well, he was consistent. Joe Burrow didn't become relevant until that last season at LSU. Nobody knew
Until
who
he had the
was.
greatest season ever. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
I'm with
it is
you.
the greatest single season of all time. Yes, I agree with you.
I think
there.
the list that you just gave, Tim Tebow would be third on that list for a single season.
I
I'm with
agree.
you on that,
I agree
but-
with y'all on that. I
Yes,
agree on
multiple
that.
seasons. You gotta have multiple seasons under your belt.
I
Okay,
think
so
Tim
if we're going to
Tebow.
go multiple
I mean-
season, if we'll go multiple season, I'm going to pick Herschel Walker over Tebow.
That's
What about
crazy.
Bo Jackson?
That is wild. No.
Oh, Jackson.
I love Bo. Bo's probably the best athlete to ever play the sport, but no.
Is Tim
No,
Tebow?
man.
Was Tim Tebow really just a glorified hype man?
Nah.
Glorified hype man.
People seem to forget that Tebow and Cam Newton were on the same roster in 2007. People forget that.
I
Who
think
started,
Tim Tebow
by the
really
way?
got big because they
started
lost
it?
to Ole Miss, and he gave a
Gave
rousing
a
speech
speech.
after the game.
It was the speech. The speech did it. The promise speech. I know. Yep.
Barry
That's another.
Sanders?
That's another argument there. No. I
You're
feel
just
like
throwing it off as if like it's not even a real conversation. These are some
you're
of the
throwing-
guys that have
but
some of the most iconic
throwing-
names in
you're
the
throwing
sport,
names out there
and you're just
where
like,
I'm
nah, not
sitting
at all.
here-
Not a 3-time All-American,
I'm
Heisman
sitting
Trophy
here-
winner, national champion Herschel Walker. Come on, dog.
Tebow did all of that, and he won 2 natties. So what's your point? Like, what's the point, dude? Honestly, dude. The national championships that Tebow has is what is making the argument for me. How many natties did Barry Sanders have? I'll tell you, 0. That's how many. All right, like there's no argument to be made for anybody unless you got a national title. That's just my opinion. If you didn't win a national championship, I could care less what you did. I really could care less. I do not care. Like, you want to throw Barry Sanders out there? Barry Sanders, yep, single season rushing record. Do not give a piss. I care about national titles. I care about Heisman trophies. I care about the multiple seasons worth of progress and of like proof that you have to show like, yeah, you were a consistent, dominant player every single season. And like outside of Tebow's freshman year, when he wasn't starting, he still got in the game and he still put up crazy stats
He was a
as
running
a true
back,
freshman.
yeah.
He's got the proof. So, I don't know. I just stand by it. I stand by it. That's not to say that Herschel Walker and Barry Sanders and Reggie Bush and Bo Jackson aren't good players. Like, yes, they're some of the best players ever to play the sport. But if we're talking strictly college football and strictly on what have you done for me, what have you shown me, Tebow's my guy. Tebow's not the greatest athlete. He's not the greatest single season. But over everything that we've seen, Tebow's my guy.
It's very obvious that Preston is young and didn't start paying attention to football until the early to
Until
mid 2000s.
like what, 2015?
And all he cares about is national championships. So
all I
very
care about.
obvious there. We're
all I
going
care
to get
about.
the gray hairs mad at us, Preston, or Mason and Preston.
Yeah.
We tried
The
to
gray hairs
listen,
can be mad,
we
man.
tried to-
Josh
Gray hairs
Pate's
can
going to
mad.
be upset with you, Preston, if all you care about is national championships. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, well, Josh Pate can get mad then. I don't care. Josh Pate has to see this first for him to get mad. So if he sees it, hey, we're doing good.
Are you going to be on edge all episode, Preston?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's on edge.
I'm going to be
He's
on edge.
Oh,
I'm
we'll keep
on
rocking it
edge.
So kind of going back to the original question before Preston ran us off the rails with
Yeah.
being mad about Tim
As
Tebow.
I tend to do, apparently.
As he tends to do. The thing that I typically do every year is I like to watch I like to watch the movie, not the TV show, though the TV show is pretty decent. Okay, it's not like great, but it's okay. Friday Night Lights. Every year, gotta watch it in August. Don't care when. Courtney and I also usually, we are the opposite of Mason. We like to just pull up random games and watch them as we're like kind of going through our day on the weekends or throughout the week. Like today, in honor of Drew Brees being in the Hall of Fame and his induction speech, I did watch the Super Bowl where the Saints won it all. I did watch that game today. That was nice. So I'll just pull up random games and watch them. It doesn't necessarily have to be LSU. For Courtney, it doesn't necessarily have to be Alabama. We just pull up something. We'll watch the Miami Ole Miss game so I could see the Ole Miss tears again. That was fun. So that's what we typically do. Courtney goes to Tuscaloosa every year, I think around her birthday or a week or two before the season, so it's not super crowded, but that's what we do. I kind of like tried to think, because my dad for the longest time would watch Lonesome Dove every year before the season. He has it like on DVD or whatever. So like whenever I got married and moved out and all that jazz, I was like, what's one thing that I can do? And like I tried like 3 or 4 different things. I was like, nah. But I always like Friday Night Lights, so that's what I do. It's a fun time. I'm too far away from Baton Rouge to go to campus, so it just kind of is what it is.
How long a trip is that, actually? 5 hours?
It's like 6 hours.
That's not terrible.
That's not awful. I can
Just
get
grow
it done.
up, dude. Just drive it. Grow up.
Yeah, grow up and just take my 3 kids or leave them at home so I can do a 12-hour round trip to Baton Rouge and back. Yeah. we'll just
Completely
do it.
abandon your family for one day. I mean, if you're a true friend, you would do it.
Maybe 2.
Just do the whole week. Why not?
Yeah. We'll just be gone all week. It's fine. Don't need to work. Who needs money? Don't need to pay bills. Listen, if we can just like get a lot of listeners, then this can be my job and it'll be worth it. So share our podcast with your friends and rate us and all that stuff. We love you guys. Let's move on. We have our interview with TonJa Knows Ball coming up for you guys. TonJa's a big Arkansas CFL, NFL content creator that we found and connected on Instagram. She has threads. So here is our conversation with TonJa. All right, guys, so we got our first interview on the podcast. We have our girl TonJa from TonJa Knows Ball. TonJa, how are we doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, we're doing awesome. Just maybe for our audience and anybody kind of tuning in, why don't you just kind of give us just a brief introduction to you and what you do cover, and how people can kind of find you.
Okay, so I'm Tanja. You can find me at TonJa Knows Ball on Instagram, TonJa Knows Ball underscore maybe on Threads. I just talk about football. I cover the CFL, specifically the BC Lions. I do SEC football, and I will be covering SEC football this fall for Open Talk 313 The Flash. You can follow them on Instagram, and you'll see me on there doing weekly picks, weekly recaps of all SEC teams, and my takeaways from each week. And I also cover the NFL.
Yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, you might not be surprised. Looks like she's a big Arkansas fan, right?
Yes, yes, I am. Woo pig.
So maybe give us the what is the typical viewpoint or emotional state as an Arkansas fan for football? Obviously, you guys have been pretty good at basketball and baseball, right? Football has
Football is
had the rough
tough.
times recently, for
Football
sure.
is so tough. It's an emotional roller coaster. I compare it to being a Cowboys fan. Every year we're so optimistic. Every year we are going to go out there and we are going to turn it around. And then every year after game two, there is no turnaround. So, I mean, it's just you just got to be loyal to the fan base if you're going to be an Arkansas fan, because you truly just never know if this is going to be the year.
Yeah, I think Preston can understand the Cowboys point since
Yeah.
he is a
Oh,
Cowboys
yeah.
guy.
Yes.
Every season it is exactly like you said. It's just,
But I will
we might have a
say,
shot.
no, I will say, I've been saying it since the end of last season: Cowboys versus Bills, Super Bowl 61. Quote me on it.
Oh.
All of that. Quote me on it. I'm telling you, they will be in Super Bowl 61. I feel it. This is the year.
I don't. But hey, look, I'm
Listen,
not
you
the
gotta
most
get the
optimistic.
positivity, Preston. Come on.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
Preston,
I am not.
come on.
As a Florida fan, I'm optimistic. As a Cowboys fan, no.
You
Until Jerry
have to
Jones is gone,
be.
nah, I can't. Until
Well,
Jerry Jones is out of there, I can't do it.
yeah.
I can't. I can't. He's hurt me too many times now. I can't do it. I
Feel
Funny
can't.
that.
enough, this might actually be the Cowboys' best team in a few years, though.
Yeah.
You gotta be a little
Hey,
optimistic.
Maybe. Well, he also traded Micah Parsons, so I don't know.
Yeah, but
Well,
Quentin
well, it
Williams,
turned
Caleb
out to be a
Downs.
good idea. I mean,
Yeah.
look.
Dude's
I mean,
hurt,
he's not
playing.
even going to be playing until they play the Cowboys. So
True.
we
I
kind
don't
of
know.
won on that end.
It sounds like Preston's just a
I
huge
still don't like it.
negative fan for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
For-
we don't need.
Look.
It's the
For-
complete opposite. I mean, geez.
it's for them specifically. For every other team, I am like, yep, we're gonna do it this year. Like I'm sitting here like Florida might be like a sneaky playoff team.
You're
all
right.
this.
You're right. Florida,
But the
John
Cowboys, I don't know,
Summerall
man.
coming in with Florida, you are absolutely correct. Because when I watched him for media days, I was at work and I had to stop what I was doing to listen to what that man was saying. So you are absolutely correct. Florida
look.
is a team to watch this season.
That guy is one that flips a switch to the point. He hears a phone ringing at media days. He's like, "You're lucky I don't throw the podium."
Yeah,
at you. So,
he demands respect, and I really
Yeah.
I really really like that. So I can
Yeah.
tell that he is shaping that team into a team that is gonna mean business. And if you're playing Florida this season, you might be in a little trouble.
Yeah. I want to use that really quick, just as like a pivot. So obviously, Florida's not the only team in the SEC with a brand new coach coming into this year. Auburn's got a new coach. Kentucky's got a new
Yes.
coach. Arkansas has Ryan
Yes.
Silverfield now. What are your
Don't get me
thoughts?
started.
What? Hey, look.
Let's get you
'cause
started. Yeah.
I know.
Get her started.
I know.
Listen, okay. Let me get it together. So let me just say I'm really, really interested in. So let me start from the top in my pecking order, how I've been thinking about it. Kalen DeBoer over there with Alabama saying he's not really thinking about championships. Well, sir, I mean, what is Alabama known for? I think you need to start thinking about it. I mean, that needs to be really high on the totem pole right now. So until he says that's what he's thinking about, I don't. I ain't got nothing for Alabama. But we're gonna pivot here. Lane Kiffin over there at LSU. I don't believe him when he says he has not been on social media. He is lying as the day is long. He is on social media, seeing everything that they got to give. And then the whole, he was everybody's gonna die. We know that, but thank you for the reminder. So I'm just kind of curious to see, does LSU get to the playoffs with Lane Kiffin there? Does it happen? I'm really interested in that. I'm really excited for Pete Golding at Ole Miss. I think that one is going to be a shocker. A lot of people are kind of like counting him out because Lane got them to the playoffs, but y'all don't know what he can do. And the way he spoke up there and demanded that respect and, hey, this is my team, this is what we're focusing on. I understand everybody is focused on week 3, but we're focused on week 1. When week 3 gets here, we'll focus on week 3. I loved that. He did not buy into the media. And whereas Lane, he was over, I don't know if, never mind. We're going to leave Lane alone. But I liked Pete Golden. Now, Auburn's coach, I kind of was just like, what's his, I couldn't really figure out his end game. I'm still kind of on the fence about him. But as for Ryan Silverfield, I still, for the life of me, cannot figure out why we let Bobby Petrino go to the University of North Carolina. And he was right here in Arkansas. He was in Fayetteville on a silver platter. So what? He didn't win any games once he took over. He had a team that they were done. They gave up. I mean, yeah, we were fighting in the games. We were the best, worst team in the SEC last season. That is horrible. They would just be like, oh, okay, well, all right, we tried. I mean, I don't really know what they expected him to do, but I just cannot understand letting him leave. And then you go get Memphis's coach, who we lost to Memphis, and y'all just decided, oh, we liked what we saw over there, so let's go get him. Then he comes and he brings his quarterback and says, oh, we're going to have a quarterback battle, and we're still not going to name a quarterback. What sense do that make? I don't understand it. I'm not sold on Ryan Silverfield. I'm not sold on the, oh, we're fight, fight, fight. Every year we fight, fight, fight. Do something different. I'm just,
Yeah, I do remember the reports coming out. I think it was around November of last year of Alex Goals potentially being the guy. And then ultimately
all of
he
a
turns
sudden,
that down. And then all of a sudden, Memphis's head coach all of a sudden is the guy that Arkansas went with, which to me came out of left field. And I think for
very
Arkansas
left
fans
field.
came out of left field.
Very left field.
So that's my, I guess, sticking point is with that hire, how serious do we really believe that
We
the
don't.
institution actually cares about football at this point in time?
To me, I am a actions speak louder than words type of girl. So I just feel like he's going to have to show me. Like, you're going to have to prove to me that you're a good coach, because like he said on media days, they asked him about not being an SEC coach at all. And this is new to him. And he said, what's my record against SEC teams? Okay, well, you were in the ACC, I believe is where Memphis is. And you couldn't even win towards your conference. You lost your last 4 games to conference players. So I mean, it 1 and 2 didn't equal 3 for me. So I was just like, I mean, you're walking around like you got this, but you really don't have this. And then we play Utah week 2 at 9:45 at night, because they're going to Utah, so whatever time it is there, but it's 9:45 for us. So you're playing Utah week 2. Normally they give us week 1 and week 2 to win, and then we start falling out. But week 2, and you just around here like, oh, we're trying to just make sure we all know we fight, fight, fight. No, we got to do a little more than fight, fight, fight. Because then we turn around in week 3, we play Georgia. So what are we really doing here? Like, I just cannot. I'm so upset about that hire. I'm sorry. I will be upset until he proves me wrong. And if he does, then I'll come back and I'll say on every single podcast I went on and was so angry, I will come back and say I was wrong. But right now, I feel like I'm not wrong.
Yeah. See, I feel like for me, I guess this kind of goes back to the Florida conversation. I know Florida fans were pretty PO'd originally whenever we found out, hey, the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes is done.
Yeah.
We feel like, oh, we settle for the guy who happens to be a head coach at a G5 school in Louisiana with 40 plus wins and 4 seasons as a head coach, which is the same guy we just had. And he's the worst head coach we've had since like the 80s. I mean, like there's been a lot of controversy when it comes to that, I think, early on. But then, like, as soon as Summerall got in front of the podium, it was like, okay, this guy's
done.
got the personality won me over immediately.
Immediately.
That's the thing I think is missing. Number one, I think proof of concept is missing in a way. Like, I think Summerall's done it at 2 different schools now. He's got that proof of concept. To some extent. Like, Napier was only at Louisiana for 4 years. Summerall did it 2 years at Troy, won immediately. And then 2 years at Tulane, won immediately. Won conference championships at both schools. So there's proof of concept to some extent. Silverfield, I just don't see it.
It ain't no. Where's the proof? I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. I just don't understand it. It does not. It never will make sense until it does. And if it ever does, like, that's my thing. To me, the true test will be, because we know it's pretty certain that they're going to beat North Alabama. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, we don't even get excited about.
You don't know. You never know.
That's true too. You never know with Arkansas. But my thing is this week 2 game, and we're out here laughing and playing on social media all day. That's another thing I don't like. I am okay with it when it's NFL teams, because I mean, the NFL is a business. So yeah, they're doing a lot of playing, and that's the thing. The content is the thing these days. But y'all not even winning no games. So why are y'all smiling and playing these content games on camera? If y'all don't get on there, everybody in there should not be smiling. Everybody should be angry. Everybody should be mad enough to want to go out there and practice and act like it's a ball game and your job is on the line. That's how you need to be playing and practicing. But instead, we're laughing and smiling on social media. I'm just having a hard time understanding what's funny. And we still don't even have a quarterback. We're still talking about the quarterback battle. I know some of the other teams don't have quarterbacks either, but you brought your quarterback from Memphis and then said, oh, I'm going to have him compete with KJ Hill. What? Or Jackson, I'm sorry. Is it KJ Jackson? It just, I don't get it. I'm very confused. Very confused. So.
Do you think there's a legitimate buy-in with their NIL collective? Because it seems like they're funneling a lot of money towards their basketball program. I mean, you have a guy like Coach Cal. He brings in Darius Acuff. You know, the basketball program is rocking, and it seems like having the Tyson Chicken Company behind you, like, you should have a little bit of an edge over some of these teams with your football program. But it just doesn't seem like, from the outside looking in, like there's legitimate buy-in with them.
Yeah, so he did speak on that a little bit on media days. He did say that, like, they can only be as good as pretty much their buy-in. He said they need people to back them. They need the money to back them. Like, we can only be as good as pretty much they're willing to pay. I mean, that is what he said, because you can recruit all day long, but if you don't have the money to back it or the sponsorship to back it, then they're just going to choose somewhere else, which is true. But I also look at it as, don't count out the 2 and 3 and 1 stars, because they're out there with something to prove as well. They could be just as good, but you'll never know if you're chasing behind the NIL money. So to me, the NIL is a blessing and a curse. But yes, I did see that we have the Tyson backing, and then we also have a sponsorship coming to where they're changing the name of the stadium come next season, not this one coming up, but the next one. So I assume that's supposed to be a huge buy-in. But I don't really pay attention too much to like the NIL and things like that because even with the NFL, I don't really care about the paydays and how much money they're making. I care about what you contribute to the team. And if you're going to win games, then I want you. But if you're not going to come because you're not getting paid the money, then please don't come if that's what's enticing you to come. Because we got to get back to winning. We don't win nothing. So, I mean, it's kind of hard for people to buy in when they're like, I'm paying for this.
So who do you think was a worse fit as a Arkansas hire? Is it Ryan Silverfield or was it big old Brett Bielema?
I liked Brett.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I liked Brett.
Didn't see that coming.
I liked Brett for a little bit, and then I started not liking Brett. I don't know. I feel like that's a trick question. I think it's like 50-50 right now. Only because Ryan hasn't showed us anything, so I
He hasn't
can't
coached
really
a game yet.
say.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Sure.
he hasn't coached a game, so I can't really say. So right now it's Brett, but I'm really leaning towards not liking Ryan just because I just feel like this is gonna like be laughable. But I'm still gonna support them. I'm gonna be loud and proud and calling my hogs, but I'm still upset.
So let's kind of go back in time a little bit, back to September of last year. One, why did we wait until Notre Dame to get dumped by Notre Dame to make the firing? That doesn't make too much sense. You just lost to Memphis. Why wait the extra week? You know you're about to get dumped by Notre Dame.
My thing with that is I actually do not agree with dismissing coaches in the middle of a season. I feel like if they start, let them finish, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. You can't bring someone in mid-season after a couple games or what have you and expect a turnaround. So why not? They've practiced with this coach and had all these meetings with this coach all off season, and then you just dismiss them and then they're gone. That messes with mentals as well. You dismiss this coach and then you expect these people, or not people, let me word it right. You expect these young men to turn around and then go play a game and act like none of this went on. None of this went on. The SEC was firing coaches left and right. I mean, it made my head spin. I was just like, good Lord. But it's like, I feel like they knew, if they knew that they were going to potentially let him go at some point during the season, they shouldn't have even let him start the season. They should have let him go at the end of the previous season. I just don't agree with letting them go in the middle of it. See, just like the Lane Kiffin thing. If you weren't, he was waiting to make his decision based off of playoffs and what have you. Get it, got it, understand. But they should have at least let him continue with his team until they either won the championship or were eliminated from the playoffs, one or the other. Why make him choose and cause this big media circus? And then now everybody's looking like what they gonna do this season. It's just a mess. I've never agreed with that. I don't like that. They should have at least let him finish the season. Let him run his name into the ground. I don't know. Like, I didn't like that. And then another thing is I didn't know for like a day that he was let go. I don't know what I was doing or what planet I was on, but I was somewhere doing something and it popped up on my threads and I was like, wait, hold on. I was like, wait, the coach is gone? And I was like, where I been? And then I was like so dumbfounded. And then they said Bobby Petrino was stepping up and then I was fine. I was like, oh, okay, well, I ain't too worried about it. But I did not know that he was let go. I missed that ESPN alert.
So were you? I mean, it sounds like you were fully on the rehiring of Bobby Petrino as head coach after the news happened.
1,000%.
Was there anybody else that maybe would have made you happy as a hire, as a realistic option?
Go get some of these old coaches. Go call Houston Nutt. I mean, call somebody that we know can win at this point. I don't want no new coach, nobody that I'm not familiar with. Go get somebody that we know can win and that is not playing with them. Call Jimmy Johnson. He had them Cowboys players starving. He said, "Oh, you can't win a game? You don't eat no food." That I want y'all that mad and that hungry to win a game that y'all go out there and win. I think that's what we're missing the point of this. Arkansas is in the SEC. We're not in Big 10, we're not in Big 12, we're not in ACC. We are in the SEC. They play football. That is what we are known for. So like we just out here gallivanting around like it's playtime and it's like no, play football. Do what we came to see y'all do.
I would pay money right now to see Jimmy Johnson coaching in the NIL and transfer portal.
I sure would too.
Because he would commit a felony charge. It would be the most hilarious thing
Yes.
of all time to see him coaching at Arkansas.
Yes,
be
and
so funny.
I would love it because please let me be on the sideline and get all that content. I'm here.
So what does a
Yes.
successful season for Arkansas this year look like?
Winning more than 2 games. Simple.
You think that's possible?
You don't want to be the Florida State of the SEC.
Winning more than 2 games. I see more than 2 on the schedule. I do.
All right.
But win more than 2 games.
Which games do you think you guys
North
can get this year?
Alabama, TU, Mizzou. I really feel like they can beat Mizzou this season. And I have one more. I can't think of it off the top of my head because I don't have the schedule in front of me.
So
But-
I'll read the schedule for you real quick,
Okay.
just so we have it. Okay. So open up North Alabama's a win, right? At Utah next, an L. Okay. You got Georgia at home coming up. That's going to be another L. Okay. Tulsa, got to be a win. It's got to be. If it's not, then might as well fire them and go find another one. I don't know.
Yeah, since we firing mid-season, go on.
Since we're going ahead. And then after Tulsa, you got at A&M, which it's in
Okay.
College Station. It's not at Jerry World anymore, I think, this year, at least for the
Yes,
next couple.
yes.
So that's interesting.
Uh-huh.
So at A&M. Then you
Okay.
got Tennessee at home, at Vandy, and then you finally got your bye week. Okay.
Mhm.
After the bye week, you got Mizzou at home. You go to Auburn, back home against South Carolina, at Texas, home against LSU.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
I see South Carolina being because they're a wild card. You never know. It's like sometimes South Carolina comes out and you're like, oh, let's see what's going on over there. And then once everybody's paying attention to them, they start losing. So I feel like South Carolina is the team we could beat. I do. I'm not gonna say Texas A&M because I really feel like they'll try to go truly undefeated this season. But I am curious to see how they do against Texas. I'm really trying to do they beat Texas this season or do Texas knock them out again? I really want to see that one.
Mason and I are perennial Texas A&M haters. They are
Got
forever
you.
8-4. I will never believe ever. I don't care what they did last season. The one
Okay.
thing that I will be thankful for is that they got Brian Kelly fired. So that's the one thing that I
Yeah.
can be thankful for them last year. That's the only thing. So thinking maybe 3-4 wins.
3-4 wins.
That's what we're hoping for, man. That's just
That's a good season for Ryan. You better win more than 2. Period.
Look, good news is basketball season does come around every year too.
There you go.
I'm still
You
learning
always got that to
basketball.
look forward
Okay.
to. Coach Cal, man. Coach Cal. There you go.
Okay,
Mason's
I have a
big
question.
basketball guy. Go
Yeah,
for
I
it.
am. All right, so I was really kind of looking for some reinforcements out of you, but you kind of killed me earlier with your Super Bowl pick. So in our fantasy league, our group chat, we started giving our division picks and Super Bowl picks, and I had the Rams coming out of the NFC, and I have the Chargers coming out of the AFC, and I got flamed a little bit for the Chargers pick.
Yeah, because what?
Yeah, okay, but listen. Okay, I have to explain myself. So last year, before Joe Alt got hurt, they were I think they were a top 5 offensive line. They were really clicking on the offensive line, and then Joe Alt got hurt. They started going downhill a little bit, But big
because
thing
their
for
offensive
them.
line was terrible.
But big thing for them this year is they are getting back their All-Pro left tackle that they lost in the preseason last year in Rashawn Slater. So they're set, locked in, loaded on the bookends of the offensive line. Also, you're getting Mike McDaniel coming in as your offensive coordinator, a guy who unlocked Tua, who obviously is not a very good NFL quarterback. So you're adding him to Justin Herbert. You still have Lad McConkey. The defense is still going to be really good with Derwin James and Khalil Mack.
Yeah,
I'm
you
kinda
were
feeling
saying
it
a
this year.
whole lot of stuff that it's not gonna be the Chargers, okay?
I don't know.
It's not gonna be
Look,
Chargers.
we're gonna
Now
get
Rams I
games.
can get behind. I really think the Rams is gonna
If
the
if
Rams
Aaron
is them.
if Aaron Donald comes out of retirement, give him the trophy right now. I
Yeah,
could
just
care
hand it to
less.
them.
Miles
Hmm.
Garrett and Aaron Donald on the same defensive line.
I agree.
There's nothing that can beat that. Nothing.
Yes. Now I will say the NFC East as a whole is going to be a conference that everybody is going to be watching this season. Like it just unmatched. The defense for the Cowboys, which they bet not embarrass us. We got Jaden Williams or Daniels. Why do I keep giving everybody different last names? But we got Jaden with Stefan. We got John Harbaugh over there with the Giants. Odell is back, and he brought people from, and Harbaugh brought people from the Ravens. The Eagles, I mean, the Eagles are just eagling. So I feel like the NFC East is going to be that conference that from the NFC, one of those teams are going to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. And it's going to be the Cowboys, but I'm going to let y'all just act like it's not. But the Cowboys are
I'd be
going to the
happy.
Super Bowl.
I would be happy. Don't see it, but I'd be happy.
Preston, you're a hater. You're not allowed to talk about the Cowboys until I get some more
Yeah, like
positivity, man.
we don't want that. We don't need that.
I feel like this is like 80% of Cowboys fans, though, are me right now. And then there's the
Well,
other 20%
listen.
that still believe. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, we've been through this so many times
We're
now. I went
going
through
to the
so
listen.
much.
Our year was when Dez caught that ball. They took that from us.
They
That was the
did.
year.
And that's when it
The
all started.
year is coming back. So this is
I
the
hope.
year
I
again.
hope. I
That's
hope.
why I said when Odell came back, I said y'all might as well call Dez, bring Dez back, and call Deshaun Jackson too. Get him back on the Eagles. Let's go. Let's run it. Let's go. Get them all here.
All I'm saying, it was a catch. That's all I'm
It
saying.
was a catch.
It was a catch.
Nobody knows what a catch is. I
Nobody.
literally
Nobody
every
does.
single
Nobody.
week in our fantasy football group chat, you have a realistic chance to ask that question, what's a catch, when you watch all these games, because it's every single one of them. Nobody knows. It changes
We
every
need
week.
we need literally a worldwide group chat. Referees, coaches, players, fans, everybody, babies, newborns, everybody needs to be on the chat, and we need one big screen, and we all need to just talk about what we think a catch is, and then figure out together what a catch actually is, because literally no one knows.
Man, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
That would be
because
something.
we don't know what a catch is.
To hear 500,000 plus fans screaming at Roger Goodell on the Zoom call.
That would be so nice.
I'd pay money to see it.
It would be so nice.
All right, TonJa, I got two more questions for you, and then we will get you out of here. Question one, do you have a national champion pick?
I feel like an SEC team.
Okay.
Georgia, Ole Miss, even Texas if they could get it together. I feel like it's going to be Georgia or Ole Miss. I see Ole Miss going all the way. It's revenge year for them. So I see Ole Miss really, really doing something this season. It's revenge. I mean, come on. Y'all played in their face all off season, and they haven't really said nothing.
Well, they said
Ryan
plenty.
Silverfield can take notes. He can take notes. They're gonna go out there and show you how you do it. So I really feel
That's a
like
pick right
it'll
there.
be it's gonna be an SEC team, Georgia or Ole Miss. And I really feel like Georgia may not be the reigning Super Bowl team at the end of this season. I feel like it's not gonna be Georgia. We know it's not gonna be Alabama. Sorry, Mason. It's not gonna be Alabama. So time
all
for
that
somebody
matters.
else to come in. Yeah, as long as it's not Alabama, I'm good.
I think
I
that's
will
how
block
everybody's
y'all.
been
I will
forever.
block you if Alabama wins, okay? I'm
Come on,
blocking.
what?
We can't.
Yes.
We
We're
can't do
turning
that.
into enemies right
We
now.
can't do it. Oh man,
Because I'm completely out on Ole Miss this year too. So
Yeah.
both
we're
of
kind
y'all
of
are.
hitting
Both
our
you
stride
and
against
Cam.
each other.
Yeah. I am
Ole Miss
all
hater
in.
for sure.
I
Ole
am
Miss hater.
all in on Ole Miss. I really am.
All right, and then last question, Mason. I have to get this in because I know you loved our conversation last week. What are your thoughts, TonJa, on the playoff? Should we expand? Should we stay? What are we thinking?
We don't need to expand it
Thank you.
because at this point, last season, I remember at one point I said, why are they playing the playoffs so close to the Super Bowl, for one? For two, why are we going 2 weeks in between each division of the playoffs? Like, I feel like you play a game, and then the next week we're playing again. What is this 2 week rest thing going on? It's just too much. And then if you add more teams in it, we're gonna be playing clear till March. I'm over it by then. Like, y'all ain't got to win it yet. I'm tired of
College
I'm
football till
tired of
March
this.
Madness, right?
No, I'm good. I'm good. It's on my nerves by then because I just couldn't understand playing so close to the Super Bowl. Like NFL, college. I love college more than NFL, but what are we doing? Like what? Like seriously, what are we doing? Because then we're trying to focus on the college playoffs. We're trying to focus on the Super Bowl. Then we turn right around and we have draft, like combine, and then draft. Like it's too much. Like I love football and I love being engulfed in it, but I'm still trying to remember what happened at the end of the playoffs and we going over here to the combine. Who won? I forgot that fast. Like it's too much, too close to like, and then we go all of this bunched together and then we go all these months, nothing. And then we're back to all these months of football. And then, it's just, I don't know, but I'm not with the expanding the playoffs because at this point it's like, just, if we're going to do that, let all the teams go to the playoffs. I mean, it's a participation trophy at this point. It's becoming a joke.
Yeah. There is this idea of having to earn your way into something that I feel like gets lost
Yes.
nowadays, especially with the expansion crowd of, oh, we're going to expand to 24 teams. And now every game that was meaningless is now meaningful. And it's like, well, they were meaningless because you had Minnesota playing Nebraska. And both
Mm-hmm.
of those teams are not going to go and win the national title, realistically.
Exactly.
Like, you're not paying
Exactly.
attention to those games for a reason. So I
Mm-hmm.
completely agree. All of us agree that we shouldn't be
Yes.
expanding the
And
playoff. I think most fans agree on that.
I also feel like, excuse me, I also feel like Mason's not gonna like me for this, but Texas deserved to be in the playoffs over Alabama last season, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Oh my god! 3 losses in the regular season.
I don't want to hear it because
we'll do that.
I don't want to hear it.
Won
No
the SEC
3-loss
regular
team
season.
has ever made the playoffs. So what made Alabama that much better than Texas? Texas beat an undefeated team.
They won the regular season SEC.
I don't want to hear it.
Oh,
Alabama did not
on.
deserve to be chosen over Texas. Period. And I don't like Texas, but I just feel like what's right is right.
Listen, it is crazy an Arkansas fan defending Texas's honor. I mean, I think I've seen
That
it all
is
now.
crazy.
I mean,
That is wild.
well,
Listen.
TonJa, we appreciate you so much. Why don't you give everybody a shout again on how they can find you and find your work and follow you along for the season?
Yeah, so follow me I am most active on Threads. That is where I give a lot of my football takes, opinions, critique, whatever. Even if you want to argue, follow me on Threads at TonJa Knows Ball because I will give you a good argument. Also follow me, TonJa Knows Ball on Instagram, and I also will be covering SEC football all fall on Open Talk 313 The Flash. So also follow them on Instagram to see my face and hear my voice and my takes.
Well, TonJa, again, thank you so much for joining. Mason will probably be jumping on Threads to get this Texas Alabama
Yes.
argument keep going.
Thanks for having me.
We've got a bunch of arguments coming your way.
Yes,
worry.
bring them. You just have to tell me who you are so I'll know, because I'll get real attitudey real quick. I be like, oh, that's Mason. Okay.
I'm just gonna come in and rage bait you a little bit. And then dip
Yes,
out.
there you go.
He's-
I let them do it the other day and they had a blast. Do you know how many people said Dez didn't catch the ball? I said, okay, that's enough. Y'all trying it.
Mason is a pro for the rage bait, can confirm. So,
This was fun. Thanks again.
yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, Mason. So, like, how big of a fight are we getting with TonJa on Threads? What are we thinking?
So here's my problem. I actually have to download Threads first. Yeah. But I did create a new enemy, so that'll be fun. I can't wait for the end of season to come and the Cowboys flame out. I'm going to give her a huge shout out. I might fly down to Arkansas and just give her a hug, try to help her feel better, while also telling her that I was right. Okay? And then the Chargers are going to come through for me. Alabama's not going to flame out like she's hoping for. And what else?
They are.
Okay. But when it happens,
Listen, all I
coming.
know and
I'm
what I
coming.
found out from this whole interview, like, wasn't necessarily her. Like, everything that she said, I kind of expected an Arkansas fan to feel about the whole Ryan Silverfield thing. I kind of expected that reaction. But Preston being the biggest negative fan when it comes to the Cowboys, like, it's like some, like, who is this guy? I don't know who this is. Like, we literally just spent a whole thing of him, like, fighting tooth and nail about Tim Tebow in Florida. And, like, he's like, oh, yeah, we suck when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Like, what's going on?
My tone changes whenever we start talking about NFL football. All right? Like, with the Cowboys specifically, I have seen too many things from them over like the past decade plus, like from the Dez Bryant catch, because it was a catch, and then to we've had years where we've gotten blown out in the playoffs by Green Bay. Like, that was just a few years ago, like first round wild card. So I've seen too many things now, from whether it was 2016 to the Dez Bryant catch to just multiple years where we make it to the divisional round and then we eventually flame out. Like, I'm of the opinion now that until Jerry Jones is either retired, sold the franchise, or he's dead, that we're not going to win a Super Bowl. Like, it's that blunt for me. All right. I don't believe him. I do not believe in the team.
would Tim Tebow be the greatest Dallas Cowboy of all time?
No.
Okay.
No, he wouldn't.
Found our limit, I
Natties.
guess.
Emmitt Smith is my greatest Cowboy of all time, personally.
Did Emmitt Smith win 2 natties?
No, he did not. He played in the 80s when Florida
Don't
was
wanna
still
hear it.
bad.
Florida
was bad until Steve
I don't care
Spurrier
about your
got there.
individual crap, Preston. No natties, no care.
Okay. But
So let's keep
Nah,
on
man.
to this hate. Let's keep on to this hate fest, all right? We're gonna. Mason said at the end of our last episode, after we were done recording, man, we've been really nice, and that doesn't sit well with me. Okay, that doesn't sit well with what our theme should be, and that's us crap talking about other schools and each other's schools. We already did that with Florida because, again, they haven't been relevant since Tebow, so Preston just has to hold on to that one thing that they've had. And you know what? It just is what it is. Maybe you guys can go back to the Jim McElwain years. That was a great time.
yeah,
what
for
are
sure.
what are
Definitely.
teams?
Definitely.
What are teams for this coming up season that maybe are getting a little too much hype that you just are not buying into? Mason kind of started us last week with Ole Miss. Let's maybe get some different teams. Who else do we think is maybe getting too much hype and we don't think are going to actually be that good?
Yeah, I dropped mine last week. Ole Miss, for sure. I've been out on them. If you want me to bring up somebody else, notoriously, I've been out on Texas A&M. Still out on them. I think last year was a complete fluke for them. They played a trash bag of a schedule. They shouldn't have even beaten Notre Dame. They got a phantom no call at the end of that game that saved them. And so out of the two good teams that they actually played, they lost to both, or they should have lost to Notre Dame, and then they did lose to Texas at the end of the year. So you bring that back, they're going to have a tougher schedule this year. I just don't believe in them. I think they're a fake team, like they have been as long as I've known Texas A&M to be a team. So, yeah, still out on them.
I don't know where the Tennessee hype is coming from. I don't know if there's any, but I don't know where this Tennessee belief is coming from with a quarterback situation that I do not feel confident in at all. I mean, and again, I'm speaking as a Florida fan, so I hate Tennessee. I hate the fact that we don't play them this year because I wish we could beat the piss out of them in Knoxville. But anyway, I do not believe in Tennessee at all. It's just the quarterback situation for me. This is probably the worst looking quarterback room I think Josh Heupel's had so far. So,
Yeah, I didn't know that there was any Tennessee hype. They're only at 18, so
yeah,
outside the playoff. But
LSU's another one I don't like. LSU's another one.
Yeah,
I don't.
Come
I
at
don't
me.
like
Come
LSU.
fight me, Preston.
I
Tell me
don't
why
like
you don't
LSU,
like
man.
us.
Because I
Tell
just
me.
don't like them.
Tell it to my face.
There's a specific reason why I don't like them, and it's because they took a certain person. But I just don't like LSU.
We take
man.
what we
I
want,
really
Preston.
don't.
That's what happens when you're relevant for
Just like
all
y'all
the
took
time,
Brian Kelly
okay?
from Notre Dame. How'd that work out? You took him from
Hey,
Notre
led
Dame,
us
and
to
then
Lane.
you eventually shipped him away. Yeah, it led you to Lane, and what's going to happen with Lane? We
Could
don't
be
know.
worse. It could
Lane
be
could
worse.
be-
We could have had Sunbelt Billy. So
There's a guy in Southern California right now who might get fired, and Lane Kiffin might just trot his way over there.
back to USC.
Back to USC.
there's zero chance that
Hey,
happens.
come on.
Zero
Hey, look.
shot.
I'm gonna throw it into the atmosphere. We're gonna just have it out there now. It's out there.
Here's the
Preston
question.
is just
potential for it.
hoping for everybody to be miserable, like all the Florida fans are.
I want
but, you know,
LSU
it's okay.
to crash. I want LSU to crash and burn, go 4-8, and to feel the pain that I felt all last season. Whenever we
Was
came
it just
in
last
thinking
season?
we could make a playoff, and we absolutely just flopped. It was horrible.
Did you seriously think you were going to make the playoff last year?
The 5 interceptions. No, the 5 interceptions
Yeah,
against LSU
brought it back.
killed me. Absolutely killed me. Okay. I remember watching that game, and I was just sitting there going, the whole time, I'm like, our defense is actually really good. Our offense couldn't beat a paper bag. Like, it's just freaking horrible. Hopefully that
Deshaun
changes
Spears
this
just
year.
got another
I don't know.
interception, by the way.
Preston, what team disgusts you the most to lose to?
Disgusts me the most to lose to?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Georgia's one of them. I hate losing to Georgia.
Lots of disgust recently.
It
Put some holes in
happens
the
a
wall on
lot.
that one.
It happens a lot. But yeah, Georgia's one I hate. I hate losing to. Tennessee recently, whenever they beat us this past season in Gainesville for the first time since I think it was 2002. That was horrible. I just hate Tennessee fans. They're annoying. They're as annoying as can be. I don't know though. I don't know. Outside of those two, I mean, I guess I would say Florida State, but we haven't lost to them in what, a few seasons now. So I mean, shoot, we ain't gonna lose to them this year. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, those are probably my top 3: Georgia, Tennessee, and then Florida State. I would have as my top 3. LSU doesn't make it in. LSU doesn't make it in. I don't care about LSU.
Well, you lose
enough.
to us all the time, so I understand.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
kind of
well.
an expected thing for you. I get it.
it's okay. We don't even play all this year. Why do I even care about LSU? All right, I don't even know. I don't even want to know why I brought them up. Really, I don't even want to know why. Oh man, who do you have? Who do you hate? Who do you hate, Cam? I'm tired of talking about what I have because I got nothing. Who do you hate?
Obviously, Alabama. Obviously.
Okay.
I join in with
Saw
Ole
that
Miss. Ole Miss is no, they're not going to be ranked by week 6 or whatever it is. They're done. Alabama, they don't have a quarterback. They do have a weak schedule soft schedule. Literally could not have asked for the SEC schedule maker to come up with an easier schedule, but they'll still lose like 3 or 4 games. Indiana, I like Indiana. I think Indiana's going to be really good. I think the defensive line is going to be really good.
Yeah, I'm just speaking
Notre
of the
Dame,
schedule.
I think Notre Dame
for
is
them.
not going to be good. I think they're going to make the playoffs because they have also the weak schedule that we talked about last week. I think Notre Dame's not going to be good. You hear all these people hyping Notre Dame up like they're this like all-star team. Apparently CJ Carr is like Heisman talk about him. That was news to me. Like, why are we talking about him Heisman talk? They lost all their best players on offense. Like, we were talking about Faison and whoever else at wide receiver. Come on. Notre Dame has never been known recently as a big offensive juggernaut, and I'm not going to believe that there's some offensive juggernaut now when they lost a first-round pick in Jeremiah Love, and Jadarian Price was also a high draft pick. Their offense was drafted to the NFL. So I'm just not going to believe it. They might have a really good defense. They're going to have a meh offense like it's typically for Notre Dame, and they're going to lose the first time that they play a real team, and they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. That's just what it's going to be.
How about the patty cake stuff too that they got? They had to go to the committee and get a new rule put in that if they're ranked inside the top 12, they're automatically in.
That was pitiful. That and
This
them
is why-
not playing their bowl game is absolutely pitiful. I'm just going to put that out there.
This is why people can't stand Notre Dame. People that are Notre Dame fans can't understand. This is why. Because you complain that you, like, one, you don't join a conference because you think you're too good of a team and a program to join a conference for football because of your own TV deal. But then
And you wonder why you
want
didn't
the
make the playoff.
benefits of being in a conference. So now you're going to have to, like, beg for some special rule so you can get in the playoff because you're not in a conference. Ridiculous.
It's crazy to think too that if Notre Dame was in a conference, they could have potentially been playing for a conference title game and could have played their way into a playoff position. They could have
They
played
would
their
have been
way
in
into
the
one of the
ACC
seeds.
championship game and would have beaten Duke. Like,
Yeah, like if you just would play in a conference and you get that extra game to show, hey, yeah, we're as good as what people think we are, but nobody's going to know it because we only played their 12-game regular season and then we're done. And then every other team in the playoff conversation gets an extra weekend to prove to the committee how they're better than Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's not in a conference, so they don't play as many games as we play. So I think Notre Dame would be better suited for the Big Ten, personally. Now, the Big Ten's got way too many teams now for that to work, but I'm just thinking regionally. But, yeah, they need to join the ACC. Like, just go ahead, put up or shut up at this point.
everybody's staying hype on Notre Dame because of the college football playoff run that they had 2 years ago. And I just want to say, like, that was probably one of the weaker runs. So here, they played Indiana,
Fake.
who's the biggest fraud in the playoff that year, okay? They
Yep.
obviously won it all last year, but that year before, the one team they played in the regular season was Ohio State and got dumped, okay? But you played Notre Dame, and they just got dumped. The next week, they played Georgia, but Georgia didn't have Carson Beck, so it was Gunnar Stockson's first ever start. Okay, congratulations, you did that. In the semifinal, you played Penn State, who choked it at the end. And it's Penn State,
Yep.
James Franklin, and Drew Aller.
James Franklin's Penn State right
Congratulations.
there. Yep.
Congratulations, okay? And then you got beat and dumped by Ohio State, who was the best team. And, like, the score makes it look a little closer. No, it was never even close. So congratulations. You had a weak run and a playoff. And they're, like, carrying that on as, like, proof that Notre Dame can win. I'm like, nah, fam. No. You had the weakest run.
It's
and
the second
it's not gonna
weakest
carry.
run. It's the second weakest run compared to Penn State in that playoff, which they ended up beating because Penn State played SMU and Boise State leading up to that game. But, like, yeah, Notre Dame had one of the weakest runs to a title out of any team that I've seen. So, which obviously in past years we haven't had a 12-team playoff, so there's really no other proof of concept there. But, yeah, you could say out of all the teams so far in the 12-team playoff era, Notre Dame has been the one that has benefited from a weaker side of the bracket for sure. So, I mean, like, I'm still sitting here. I know that some people on TikTok were commenting saying, what do you mean Notre Dame has to win the big game? Like, we made it to the national championship just a few years ago. Okay, with that being said, in the regular season, tell me who you've beaten recently. Like, who have you beaten in the regular season recently? You lost to Miami. You lost to A&M, right? You beat A&M a few years ago, which is why you got in. But, like, that was an A&M team that finished 8-4. So, what does it matter? What does it matter? My biggest issue with Notre Dame is still, until they prove me wrong, is still going to be win the big game in the regular season. Like, that's going to be the conversation this year. They play, we talked about it last week. BYU is one of them. That could be a potential big-time game. And then Miami. And you play Miami at home. If you lose that game, there's no excuse. There's really no excuse for losing that one.
I think they're going to lose. I like Miami early on.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the rest of the coaches poll, top 25. Michigan is a weird team. I mean, it's kind of like, what do you expect out of Bryce Underwood this year? Does he take the leap? Kyle Whittingham's first year. It's just a weird one. The only other team that I see that I am out on, it's always going to be Iowa. Screw them forever. Score more than 20 points in the football game.
I don't know
Kirk
why
Ferentz is still there, so I'm always going to be out. I will always be out on Iowa.
Top 25.
The second that my dog Kirk bounces out of Iowa, I'll start coming back around. But that dude is content with 20 points a game,
hire his son.
and then that's it.
They're going to go and hire
hopefully
his
his son knows
son.
how to score more than 20 points a game. Because
I don't
if
think
he
he
doesn't
does.
know how to do that, he'll be out.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does, man.
Well, that'll work
What
for
about
me. I can continue to hate them.
What about Texas Tech? What do we think of them?
They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
But
I don't like
they're
the
also
quarterback
in-
situation.
They're also in the Big 12. I mean, what are we talking about? It's going to be them
I mean,
and BYU.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, do they play BYU? I'm not
so,
sure. Hang on. Let me look at their schedule. I think Texas Tech is one of the biggest frauds in college football. And I think last season proves it. But I just don't understand, like, how Texas Tech is even being considered as, like, oh, they could potentially make a run. Like, no. Nobody should be considering
Mason,
Texas
to your
Tech
surprise, to your surprise, Mason, Iowa last year, average points per game, 29.3.
Can you cut the 4 trash bag teams that they played last year? Or was it 3? Take those 3 games out where they played School of the Blind. I guarantee you it's probably 20. I'll be generous and say 22.
Let me look and see what it is against Power 4 opponents.
There we go. I promise
Let me
you.
look.
I promise you. It'll be right around. I'll be generous.
They
and say
finished
22.
okay last year. They finished okay. I'll say that.
I will never believe in them.
Against Power 4 opponents, so that includes the bowl game against Vandy. Okay. Vandy, Nebraska, Michigan State, USC, Oregon, Minnesota, Penn State, Wisconsin, Indiana, Rutgers, and Iowa State. Average points per game, 27.3.
Man.
Fake.
They scored
Man.
40 on Nebraska.
That's what happens when you play
40
Nebraska
on
and
Nebraska.
It's Nebraska.
Rutgers.
37
Nebraska.
on Wisconsin.
It's Wisconsin.
38 on Rutgers. 41
Rutgers.
on Minnesota.
It's
Yeah,
Minnesota.
okay. Get out of here.
34
I thought you
on
said Power
Vandy.
It's Vandy.
Fakest Power 4 schedule I've ever seen in my life.
You played Nebraska,
Vandy probably didn't even
Wisconsin,
play half their team in the
Minnesota,
bowl
and
game
Vandy.
either. Yeah. No.
Come
Kirk
on now.
Ferentz. Hang it up, big dog. Hang it up.
I will say, I don't know how many of those 41 or 40 points in those games was actually the offense. So that is a fair question. It is a fair question.
Hey, look, one thing that Iowa will do every season, they will pump out offensive linemen, tight ends, and apparently defensive backs. That's what they
White cornerbacks.
eventually
Yep.
will be able to do. That's their bread and butter right there, man. Nah. Okay.
I will say
Texas
thank you to
Tech.
Iowa for Caden Proctor twice, actually.
Yeah.
So shouts to them.
Yeah.
They tried to get him twice.
He was at
didn't
Iowa
work
for
either
like a
time.
month.
Yeah.
He was at Iowa for like a month and then came back to Tuscaloosa. That was
That's
the
cool.
weirdest thing from the transfer portal I've seen, and I think period. One of the
I loved
weirdest
it.
things.
Had a blast. I love the transfer portal. So cool.
All right.
Also, I
Let's
love
see.
NIL. Also, I love college football expansion, and I love Iowa.
I do know that, you know, he really held down the protection line for Alabama when he played. So
Yeah, he did.
Man,
It was awesome. So cool.
he
Hey,
held it down.
his quarterback's
down,
back
man.
didn't break in a game or anything.
good enough to get drafted top 12, I think it was. So cool. Also,
Yeah,
No.
that's a bust waiting to happen.
I'm not there on bus because
that's
he's
a
going to get
bust
moved
waiting
to
to
the
happen.
position that he should have been playing his entire
Offensive
career,
guard.
which is guard.
Yep.
Dude's pushing 400 pounds his entire career at Alabama, and they have him over at left tackle.
Catching
Seriously.
passes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wide
catching,
receiver.
Catching
That was pretty
catching
sick.
passes, running the football. I mean, good night, man.
You want to
Who's
talk
gonna-
about
who's
height?
gonna be-
That got me.
Who's going to be the offensive lineman this year to do that? Who's going to be the guy?
Ooh, great question.
Who's the guy for Alabama?
Who did
in
they
that
promise
position?
a lot of money to transfer him because they couldn't get any good transfers in?
They tried to get the transfer tackle from NC State. I think he went to where did he go? I think he went to Mississippi State. It was something stupid like that. I don't know if they're gonna do that.
Should
again
have
this
offered
year.
him some screen passes.
Probably should have
Yeah.
done that.
Hey, we'll give
at least
you
he
5
didn't
screen
commit and
passes
start classes and
and
then
2
decide to get
Wildcats.
to Texas. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Hollywood Smothers, man.
I think if they're gonna pull somebody
Hollywood.
out and do something stupid again, I can see it coming from the defensive side. Actually, I can't even see that. Maybe Yonze Pierre. That'd be cool.
That would be funny. Yeah. That'd be a good
Probably
one.
not.
Man.
I gotta say though, the balls on Ryan Grubb to throw a screen pass to your offensive lineman.
In that
That's
game,
kinda-
too. Like,
dude,
let's remember what game that
that's
was.
nuts.
Like, yeah. Yeah, that's wild.
Who would have thought that Alabama would be known for gimmicks?
We're here. We're here.
This is your new reality now.
We're here. That's a lot coming from you having Lane Kiffin right now. I mean, come on.
I don't care. That's fine.
I still got a
Alabama
popcorn
has
bucket with
prided
Lane's name on it.
itself on like tradition and like smash mouth, we don't care, bully ball, whatever. And I was just like, hey, just score points, please. Like, I don't care. Just don't bring us back to Les Miles, please. And now you guys are like doing what you do now, so it's pretty funny.
We're here to have fun and not win championships, apparently.
Yeah. Not about championships. Hey, kind of going back to Michigan real quick. I'm definitely out on Michigan because of all this talk that keeps coming out. First, it was Kyle Whittingham like trying to downplay the Ohio State thing, and then freaking Bryce Underwood did the same thing. What is going on in Ann Arbor?
Hey, look, you're going to go based off of your head coach's attitude, so that makes perfect sense to me. Perfect sense that that game is now being downplayed because the head coach goes out and says, oh, well, we don't hate anybody. We don't hate Ohio State. Like, it's a rivalry, but, like, we're going to respect each other and all this. It's like, no, that's the game. Like, out of all the rivalries in college football, you have the Iron Bowl, and then you have the game. And those two are, like, neck and neck. So, like, no, that's not this thing of, oh, yeah, well, it's okay. We don't hate them. Like, no, these dudes were just at midfield 2 years ago squaring up with one another. Like, we're not going to act like that didn't happen, right?
I think that was the greatest rivalry week of all time. I think
The
there was
amount
a
of
fight
flag
every single window.
plantings, the amount of flag plantings that happened that single weekend was hilarious. So funny.
Yeah, I'm out on Michigan. I think they fire him and then also ship off Bryce Underwood, even though they paid him like $20 million or whatever it is.
You think they fire him year one?
Listen, if he gets
Year
dog
one?
walked by Ohio State after those comments, I can see it
Yeah.
happening. And then
don't
Okay,
they'll go
what
make
would he
another
do?
run at.
can't make that
they'll go
comment.
make it. They'll
If
go
they
make
finish the
another run
season-
at Old DeBoer, and Bam will be like, "Please take him, please."
if they finish the season,
I don't think you want that, Cameron.
10-2.
I don't think you want that.
If they finish the season
Who you gonna
10-2
get?
and they lose by 20 to Ohio State, you think they fire him? If they finish
yeah.
that year 10-2, and okay, wow,
They're not going
So they're
10-2.
going to fire him just off of that game. Okay, I mean I understand it. That game's a big game, but firing
Ryan Day was
goes
about to get
10-2?
fired because he lost to Michigan too much.
Yeah, but Ryan Day had also been into his tenure at like 6 years at the point now, I think. At that
I
time.
think he
So,
had
like,
lost like 6 games in the Big Ten at that point, and probably 4
He
of
had
them were in
been-
Michigan.
He had been the head coach at Ohio State since like 2019 and lost that game. What was it, 2025? Was it? That was the year they lost last time? Yeah, that was when they lost. But, nah, dude, firing him after one season, especially if they have a good year this year, no, I don't see it. There's no way.
Well, they're not going to have a good year
No
this
way.
year, so it doesn't really matter.
All right. That Penn State game will be fun to watch, I guess. That would be kind of
Also, kind of speaking of
who's the
Ohio
worst?
State, and maybe we'll kind of end it with this. When did Ohio State change and Ryan Day change from being like the big offense, score all the points with a good defense to, hey, we're just going to play like 9-6 and be happy with that? Like, when did, this happened last year. And I'm like, what happened to like Ohio State in offense? Like, I thought Ryan Day was supposed to be like this offensive mastermind, which he was for like the first half of his career. Michigan broke his brain, and now they don't want to play offense. I'm convinced. Like, what happened?
I mean, that's why I hired Chip Kelly, man. And then Chip Kelly left town, and now all of a sudden he's stuck doing the play calling again. So, like, hey, man. Brian Hartline, too. That was his first season as the OC, so I think that all plays a factor. Because, I mean, shoot, they weren't complaining about offensive play calling the year before last year. I mean, they got into that playoff, and they just dogged everybody. Like, that Oregon game in the Rose Bowl, good night, man. They were cooking. So,
Oregon just didn't want to cover Jeremiah Smith for some reason.
Does anybody want to cover him, though?
no.
Apparently
He's
Indiana
the best
will.
receiver. He's the best
Apparently
receiver in
Texas
college
will.
football, man.
The best teams they played last year, he kind of disappeared, so.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what happens when you're one of the best receivers on the field. They're going to key on you, make everybody else try to beat them. Maybe that says more about their wide receiver room as a whole versus him as a player. I think that's probably what you're running
Cardell
into
Tate
there.
was first-round draft pick, man.
Yeah, well, I don't know. The rest of the wide receiver room, I still have questions about. I don't know about and I mean, Ohio State has been pumping out wide receivers left and right since Brian Hartline's been the coach there. That'll be interesting to see how they do without him. Now that Hartline's at South Florida, that's going to be interesting for me to see. Is
got
like, how does that
Cortez
wide
now.
receiver room keep going? Yep, Cortez Hankton from LSU. That's a big one. That's a guy that I would have wanted. I remember, I think Florida was trying to get him to come over, which that would have been a pickup right there for sure.
Like, is it just me, though, on the whole Ohio State thing? Like, obviously they're going to drop, like, 40 and 50 points on, like, Rutgers and the weak crap in the Big Ten. But, like, against these real teams, like, what? Like, maybe it's just, like, recency bias because of how poorly they did against Indiana and Texas last year and Miami. But, like,
And Miami. Yeah, don't forget that Miami
Like,
game. That was bad.
like, I don't know, man. And you were talking about the quarterback maybe being a Heisman guy, like Julian saying, like, are we buying that? I mean, they're preseason number 1, right? Or number 2? Where are they again?
Coaches
They're
poll,
number
yeah,
one.
I think they're number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, preseason number 1. Like,
number
are
one.
we buying Ohio State? Just strictly just talking offense. The defense is going to be good, but just speaking offense, are we really a believer in Ohio State? Like, everybody wants to
I don't know.
circle Jeremiah Smith, but I mean, somebody's got to get him the
they're-
ball, and
They're returning a lot when it comes to the offensive side of the football. Just from like the running back, Bo Jackson, he's coming back. Obviously, Jeremiah Smith's coming back. That wide receiver room, I think Brandon Ennis is a guy that's probably going to be wide receiver too. But I mean, it really does revolve around Julian saying for sure. But I mean, he was efficient last season, but he wasn't like a game changer. I don't think anybody in the Heisman Trophy ceremony last year, any of those finalists were like, Mendoza was the only guy that I guess sticks out as a game changer out of the guys, out of those finalists last year. Like that was one of the weaker Heisman classes in my opinion. I don't know where y'all fall on it, but I don't think that Heisman finalist group was as impressive as past seasons have been. So I don't know though. Ohio State still, I mean, they're elite. No question about it. Like they're elite when it comes to the players and the talent that they have. It's just putting it all together. So
Mason?
All right. So I started thinking about something the other day. And this is going to kind of kill us on a tangent. So if we need to save it for next week.
oh boy.
Save it for next week. I was thinking about Lane Kiffin legitimately and where he ranks.
What?
In the coaches.
Legitimately? Wow.
Yeah, legitimately. Where his rank would be in the coaching pyramid right now. And I really couldn't come up with anything. I genuinely
Are they talking SEC or like overall?
Let's end it on this, please, because I want to go ahead and like just get on the tangent while we're at it, because since you brought it up, I think right now the current guys, I would say Kirby is your number one.
So hold on. Again, are we doing ranking just for SEC, or are we going to do ranking for all of college football?
Everybody,
okay.
right? Okay.
Okay.
So Kirby's one. I don't know. You would probably have to put Signetti. Signetti's got to be two, or he could be number one. Honestly, like we're gonna have that conversation. Do we put Smart or Signetti number one?
No, okay. Let's pump the brakes. It's still Kirby.
I'd put Smart's right now the only one is since Saban to win 2.
Yeah.
So
True.
We got to go Kirby 1 because he's got the longevity. 1, 2 is definitely Kirby Signetti right now.
Well,
do
the
those
question
two
is,
at Georgia mean more than a one at Indiana? Is my question. Like that's where I'm getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say the
question to me
65-7 win says a lot. That's a big one
Signetti
for
or
Kirby.
Ryan Day at 2.
Signetti.
I'm okay with
I
that.
think Signetti's
Signetti's.
the one for me. What he did at Indiana, I mean, it just speaks for itself. Like he's done more at Indiana in 2 seasons, arguably, than what Ryan Day has been able to do in his tenure at Ohio State so far. I put him over Ryan Day. I think Ryan Day's number 3. Number 4 and number 5 are where it gets interesting for me. Like I think the top 3 is solidified, and then after that, there's a little bit of a gap there where it's like, who's the next guy? That
I think there's a pocket right there of like probably 4 coaches, maybe 5 coaches that you can make an argument for. I mean, you got to talk about Freeman, you got to talk about Lanning, you got to talk about Sark, you got to talk about Lane, you got to talk about DeBoer.
Yeah,
like to me,
Cristobal, Mario Cristobal over there at Miami. I mean, like we're talking about guys that either probably have made it to a national title, like Freeman and Cristobal have done that now, or guys who are right on the cusp of doing it, right? Potentially going and winning one. So like,
but see, that's why I was having a problem with Lane, because what has he won? Has he won anything? No.
He has not won anything, no. But that's the whole reason why he's going to LSU. And I do think that Lane arguably is a top 6. I don't know about top 5, but top 6 coach. I think you could make that argument for him. Just based on his resume and where he's been, what he's done. I think there's an argument there that he's one of the top 6 coaches in college football at the moment. Especially what he did at Ole Miss. That rings.
So if I want to go with
lot for me.
the "what have you won for me" thing, you can literally you can just ask that question of anybody else on the list that's not Signetti, Smart, Day right now.
So
Dan Lanning hasn't won anything.
He won the Big Ten.
When did he win the Big Ten? 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ohio State season.
Sark?
So Sark is in
Sark
the same
hasn't
boat.
done
I'm right there
anything.
with you with Lane.
Yep.
DeBoer?
I don't know, man. I might put Kiffin
DeBoer.
over Sark at the moment.
He won the Big Ten too, or he won the Pac-12.
I might put
Won the
Kiffin
Pac-12,
over
playing in the
Sarkisian.
SEC championship game last year.
Do you think the job that Lanning has done at Oregon is more impressive than what Lane built at Ole Miss?
But what did he actually build? That's the whole thing.
What did he build at Ole Miss?
Yeah. What?
I mean, The dude
They were the only
went,
time that they were even close to getting to the SEC championship game was what, last year?
I don't like when
Okay.
it comes to comparing the two. I don't think it's a hey, did Lane take
not
Ole
that
Miss to
simple.
the SEC
It's
championship?
not that simple.
Because like Ole Miss and Oregon are two completely different levels of programs. So like
here
for
with you.
Ole Miss, like Ole Miss is, hey, they won like 3 or 4 straight 10-win seasons,
Yep.
which never happens at Ole Miss. With
Yeah.
Oregon, they've won their conference plenty of times before Dan Lanning came. They have knocked the door on winning a national championship before Lanning came. So what Oregon's doing right now isn't something that's like grand old new for Oregon that he's taken them to new heights. Whereas with Lane Kiffin, he took Ole Miss to a spot where they haven't been since like the 60s. Like there's a reason that it's an ongoing joke that them and A&M are the only two schools in Vandy that haven't been to Atlanta for the SEC championship game. Like they're in that group, whether they want to admit it or not. Their rivals been. Mississippi State's been. They haven't been. And so like you're talking about a guy that's been coaching and had huge success and took their team to, he didn't get to coach in the playoff, but he got and coached the team to get the playoff berth for this year. So I'd say that's like the job that you do there is way better to me than what Lanning's done at Oregon personally. Now they both obviously haven't won natties, but like nobody else on the list besides the first 3 have. So when it comes to what you've done, like Lane's been doing it longer than Lanning. So he has that kind of thing, but like to me that's a bigger deal depending on what the program is at. Now that he's at LSU, now we can kind of compare apples to apples here in a few years of what Lane's done versus what Lanning's done. But you're comparing apples and oranges, and it's just what do you value more? Do you value like bringing the consistency up a little bit to what Cristobal did at Oregon and winning a Big Ten championship and getting dumped in the playoffs twice in a row? Do you value that more than what Lane did at Ole Miss and building it up and having multiple first-round draft picks? That's happened the first time in forever, and 4 straight 10-win seasons. Like, which one do you value more is going to tell you who you value more.
Yeah, the reason I got on all this is because I was trying to figure out what the bar would be for LSU to have a failure of a season, I guess.
The
Like if they
bar
drop 3
for
games,
LSU has to be like 9-3. If they go 9-3, that's a failure in my opinion.
okay.
I think you have to make.
That's
the
kind of
playoff.
where I got. But I've been having a weird thing with the whole LSU of it all because I don't love trusting a new coach going into a season to have a magical run of sorts, right? You got to establish your program. You got to do X, Y, Z. But they also funneled in a crap ton of money into the program. You have this
did.
insane
Yep.
transfer portal class coming in. You got a bunch of big names on your team. Lane Kiffin could be a top 5 head coach, X, Y, Z. If you're dropping 3 games, that's not going to feel great. I don't think. Now, LSU fan over there could tell you a little different, but I don't know.
Here's what I would say. I think 9-3 is the bar that it's like you have to, you got to at least finish like 10-2 or not, like to give yourself like, hey, you're coming off of a season where you just finished unranked, but that's because we're saying Brian Kelly was the problem. We had all the talent there, but Brian Kelly was the issue. Now you're bringing a guy like Lane Kiffin who had Ole Miss finishing 10-2 last year at the end of the regular season, and they got in the playoff because of it. Like, Lane has been around long enough to where the expectations for Lane are just going to be supremely different compared to, like, Sumrall at Florida, right? Or Golish at Auburn. Like, it's just there's no comparison there because of the situation that he's stepping into. And to your point, Mason, the transfer portal class there, like, you got Sam Levitt, you have Jordan Seaton, who was an offensive lineman coming from Colorado, former 5-star recruit. Like, there are plenty of guys that are going to be on that team going into this season where we should be looking at LSU and say, like, yes, they're going to be a top or they're going to be a playoff team. Now, where they're seated, that's up to discussion. Like, we might sit here and say, well, LSU just finished the season 11-1, right? But I think realistically speaking, like 10-2 and 9-3 is where I think most fans probably have their eyes. Now, I don't think anybody's expecting them to make this magical run year one under Kiffin, but like, who knows, man? Honestly, like, who knows? The potential for this LSU team is like through the roof because it's just you're banking off of the potential of what can Kiffin do at a top 5 program in college football. Like, that's what we're sitting here talking about right now.
So I still don't have like a guess on what the season is yet. And the reason is the schedule. The schedule is brutal. The reason why there was a ton of hype last year was, one, like there were a lot of returning players. But two, like the schedule set up for them so nicely that you got the buys when you needed them. You play teams kind of at a good time. Like the schedule worked and flowed really well for that team last year to have made a run, if they could have. This year, like, it's hard, man, because Oklahoma rotates off, Texas rotates on. That's tough. Playing either one of them would have been tough, but that's really tough. And then the time that we're playing them. So, like, I'm not scared of Clemson week 1, but, like, do you really want the first game as a head coach to be a Clemson team that everybody's doubting on with Dabo being the coach? You don't really want that, right? Like, Dabo's probably fighting to stay relevant, trying, like, I'm not saying they, like, fire him, but they might, like, really suggest that he retire if they have another subpar bad year. So, like, you have a Dabo that's playing into his players of, oh, little old Clemson, nobody believes in us. You know, that whole thing that's always been the thing to try and get the chip on his shoulder. You open that up, Tiger Stadium is going to be 10 out of 10 environment no matter what. But you want that to be your opener? Okay, well, you got that. Then, you know, you get Louisiana Tech. And then you have the game that literally everybody's been talking about all offseason, even before the national championship was done. Like, this happened back in December. Like, oh, the Ole Miss game at Ole Miss. Everybody has that circled. Then, by the way, the next week you got to play A&M, which not a big believer in, but, like, they dump truck us last year, and they came back and dump trucked us the year before, so we haven't beaten Marcel Reed yet, okay? Blake Baker has to figure out how to stop a running quarterback. Maybe that'll happen this year, okay? Then you kind of get a break in October with McNeese, and then you got to play at Kentucky, which who knows what they're going to look like with Will Stein at that point. You play Mississippi State, which could be tricky with Kamario Taylor. You got at Auburn, which is always a weird freaking game because it's Auburn and new coach. Okay, so like that's already kind of weird. Then we finally get the bye. And hey, congratulations. You made it to November. How's Bama, Texas, at Tennessee, at Arkansas to finish your year? When I saw that, I'm like, are you freak? They could not have made a tougher November if they tried. Could not. Because, like, here's the thing, and you kind of heard in the, you guys heard me say this after our interview. Like, the Arkansas game is like the bane of LSU's existence. Like, it's like one of the, like, everybody has these teams where it means way more to them than it does to you. Like, every team has that. Like, maybe it's like for Alabama, it's Mississippi State. It means way more for Mississippi State than it means for Alabama. Like, it means way more to Vanderbilt than it does to Florida. Like, there's always those games. And it's always been this Arkansas game. It's always been that. Like, yeah, we have the Golden Boot and cool, whatever. Like, it's just a trophy. Like, when we lost it, yeah, it's a big deal because we get it back. But, like, it's just one of those teams. It's always been this way. Go back to 2007 when we lost to Darren McFadden and all those dudes when on the national championship season when we thought the season was over because we lost in triple overtime again. Like, it's just always that one game. And so you have that at the end of, oh, you got to play the weird offense at Tennessee and at Tennessee. And then before that, you got to play Texas, which could be a buzzsaw. It is at home, thankfully. You got to play Alabama. You know, so like, it's a rough schedule, man. It all is going to come down to Sam Leavitt. It seems like he's healthy from everything that I've heard and read and seen. He seems like he's fully healthy. It seems like he's ready to go. But how much is it, like, it's going to come down to him and the offensive line. I think the defense is going to be really good. Name that you haven't maybe heard yet, Ty Benefield, safety. he's going to be an All-American, or at least All-SEC. Guaranteed. That's the name you're going to hear. But I don't know. I think Lane's a great coach. I think if we go 9-3, like, one, it'll suck, but two, it's like, against that schedule? Okay. I get it. You know, first season. I get it. You go 8-4, then it's like, all right, what the heck? Like, it is the 8-4.
There's way
9-3
too much
kind of
talent.
line, but
There's way too much talent on this team for you to go 8-4. I think 9-3, you can be more forgiving, to your point, because like you are playing a really tough schedule. Like, there are a lot of top tier. Like, that's the whole point that I think we were getting at last week with the strength of schedule. Like, playing that 9-game conference schedule makes a ton of difference now if you're an SEC school. Like, it's going to be extremely difficult for anybody to come out of the SEC with less than one loss. Like, it's gonna be really, really difficult to do that. But I guess going back to the coaching conversation, I'd have Freeman at number 4. I'd have Lanning at number 5. I'd probably put Kiffin at number 6. That would be me. Now, we can see how this season plays out, and maybe that changes. But right now, that's where I stand. I think Kiffin's right there based off of what he did at Ole Miss.
where's
But
Cristobal?
I don't know where I put him. Cristobal is at number 7 just because he's the one that's made it to a natty. Sark hasn't done it yet, and Sark's at Texas. So, Sark has the benefit of being at one of those Texas schools that has all the money in the world. Like, you never have to worry about that there. So that's where I'm at with Sark, because like Sark for a few seasons at Texas, like, people seem to forget Sark was on the struggle bus there for a little bit before he got that thing going, and it took him a while to get it going at Texas. So now, I don't think Sark's a bad coach by any stretch of the imagination, right? I think he has really done a great job at Texas, but I don't think doing a great job at Texas warrants us to say you're a top 5 head coach right now, because I think there's a lot of coaches in that list that would go to Texas right now with those benefits and could probably go and win a natty. So I think right now I would probably have Sark lower on the list, but I mean, it's neck and neck between a lot of these guys. Like, it really is. And it's going to take a national title, obviously, to separate. But I think right now that list is really tight between all of them. Like, all 5 of those coaches that I think we just named, it's super tight.
I don't know how I feel about Marcus Freeman at 4.
I mean, you could plug holes with anybody at 4. That's the only thing. I mean, any of the guys that we name, putting them at 4 would just feel kind of weird.
Yeah. I feel like the only argument maybe for 4 would be Freeman and Cristobal, just because they're the ones that made it to a national championship. That's kind of where I sit, I guess, with those two. So.
I've always been so out on Cristobal. I feel like he is a
I don't like him.
fantastic recruiter. He's a great recruiter, but I mean, they've had one season, right?
Yeah.
So I've never been a Cristobal guy.
Yeah. I mean, I will never forget the Georgia Tech game
Where do you have DeBoer then?
where you
Preston?
could have kneeled. DeBoer? Shoot, dude. Man. Dadgummit. Yeah, that kind of throws a wrench in it, doesn't it? I don't know, dude. DeBoer and Sark, I guess, is tough, right? Because, I mean, DeBoer's got the head-to-head.
DeBoer's
at
got the
Washington.
head-to-head right now. But
So, yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, give me DeBoer over Sark at the moment, I guess.
Here's the
Why
thing.
not? I'll
Here's the
keep
thing
throwing
with
people
DeBoer.
over.
Here's my thing with DeBoer. I think DeBoer at Washington and DeBoer right now at Alabama are just two different guys.
At the moment,
I'm
I
not
agree
totally
with
with
you.
you on that.
I think
I'm
this
not totally
year
with
it
you
can
on that one.
change. This year is the year that I think it changes to where you see more of what you saw at Washington. But now, how much of an impact does that make? I don't know. We're going to have to find out. But, I mean, to a point, I agree with you. Like, last year, we got a glimpse of what it could be with Ryan Grubb. Right? I don't think that first season, I wouldn't count that first season with Jalen Milroe as that's the Kalen DeBoer style offense that you're going to get in his tenure at Alabama. Like, he's working with what he had, right? Like, Jalen Milroe was a pure runner of the football. right? Like we all know that. And like looking at those games, he was either on one week and then the next week he's off. And you just don't know which guy you're going to get. So, I mean, I think this season for Alabama is the closest you've gotten to seeing what it's going to look like under DeBoer going forward is going to be this year. Like you're going to see a glimpse of all of that this year as to, okay, we saw what you did at Washington. Now we get to see it here at a big time SEC school. And we'll get to see how it plays out. So, because, I mean, there's been some shockers, obviously, in his tenure so far. The Georgia game, that first year, everybody thought that Bama was going to go and just make this crazy run. So, like, he's shown glimpses of it.
I just think the job that they had to do last year gets a little slept on because Ty Simpson 100% got hurt in that Missouri game, and that's kind of where the season started to turn a little bit. Like, they were still winning games after that. They were still playing decent, but it was always it always felt like something was off. You combine your quarterback getting hurt the way that he did, along with a bad offensive line and zero running game. Like they had to do and pull some rabbits out of the hat last year that I don't think gets recognized enough. And I'm right there with you that like the job that he has done the first 2 seasons so far hasn't necessarily been good enough, but I do think that they have been better than what people are putting on him right now. And so I think that's why everybody's trying to say like, oh, another bad season, he's going to get fired. I'm just not there. And, like, I'm not there with that at all.
I think when it comes to the running game, though, like, that's just who he is. He never had a dominant or good running game at Washington. So,
I don't
like,
know. The last year, they had a good running game. Yeah. They
no.
did. Yeah.
No.
Pull up the numbers.
They didn't.
Yeah, they did. Pull up the numbers. But it was also the Pac-12, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for making my point.
Yeah. That's the problem, though, is that it's not that they don't prioritize the run. They just use the run game to set up their passing game. And when you can't run the ball at all, you're going to struggle in the passing game a little bit, along with your quarterback being hurt, along with not being able to protect him when you are trying to pass the ball. So
I think the Georgia game in that SEC championship kind of shows all that. Like the inability to run the football eventually is going to like harm your team detrimentally to the point where teams are just going to like drop 8 and the covers and they're not going to worry about it. You know, they're not going to worry about if you can run the football or not because you've shown you haven't so far. So,
but they still won really big games last year. The only problem is that they're losing the really stupid games that they shouldn't even be in. Now, how do you dissect that? I really have no clue.
I think a lot of it for
greatest
Bama
coach of all
fans.
time anymore.
Yeah, a lot of it
Like,
for
that's
Bama
what it
fans
is.
is Saban being gone. That's what it is for sure. You've had 17 years worth of, oh my goodness, this is the greatest of all time to now, okay, we're back to normal.
Getting beat by 30 points to Indiana in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Dumped by Florida State.
But then you still turn around and you beat Georgia back-to-back seasons like it was nothing.
Somehow you still beat Georgia. I don't know
Dude,
how
it's
they
just
keep
one
doing
of those things where, like, I don't know what it is about Kirby Smart, but he can't get over the fact that Nick Saban is no longer there. He's still looking at the jersey or the helmet or something. Something about that. He just can't get. I don't get it. I don't get it.
It is.
Me either.
The Georgia is just haunted by Nick Saban's ghost at this point. Like it is. It will forever.
Is Kirby still
be...
getting a paycheck from Bama all these years later? Or?
I hope so. That'd be cool.
Best paycheck, best
Send him one more paycheck this
money he's
year.
ever spent.
They might be
All right,
paying
we're
him
gonna
more.
end it here.
They might be
We're
paying
gonna
him more
end it.
money
It's
than
been
DeBoer.
long. It's been a long one. It's been a long, beefy one. Appreciate you guys for listening. Catch us on social medias. Again, we'd love to get your feedback and input into the show. Ask us questions. We'd love to get into that. You can do that by pulling up our link in bio, putting in your question there, or just by emailing us, thesaturdayrivals@gmail.com, or message us or comment on any of our stuff on social medias. It's all there. Get with us, connect with us, and we will catch you guys next week.